And what's up, everybody? Back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Back with Garry,
Hello, everyone.
and we are here.
Hopefully,
Okay,
my mic is perfect, so
hey,
hopefully, it's good.
yeah, it sounds pretty good. We got a lot to cover this week. The NBA season's over. The NHL season is over. I was at Pocono last weekend. Gotta go over that. And some other not fun news to talk about relating to MSU. Some other general stuff. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna have Ann on this week, and unfortunately cannot make it. But I'd like you to know that Ann was with me throughout my whole Pocono weekend experience that we will get to. So there's that. So don't have any trivia this week, so we're just gonna jump right into the stuff that we have. We're gonna start off with baseball because that one is probably the least impactful of shit to go down over the last week. So let's get right into it. Started with the Tigers. Tigers have they've been okay. They had a series at home with the Twins. They beat the Twins in Game 1 of that series, 10-4. Then Framber Valdez happened, and they lost Game 2, 6-4. But then they destroyed, and I mean destroyed, the Twins in the series finale, hitting 6 home runs and winning 11-0 to win the series. Pretty good. They don't usually perform that great against the Twins, so it's good to see that they were able to pull off a series win. Then the Tigers continued in division action, but headed out to Cleveland, and they got owned. That vaunted hitting was gone. They scored a total of 3 runs the entire series. They lost Game 1, 3-2. This was after a pretty rough start on the pitching end, and the bats just couldn't keep up. And then Tarek Skubal made a return in Game 2 of the series. Again, struggled a little bit, gave up 3 runs, and the Tigers once again could not hit the ball to save their lives as they lose to Cleveland 3-1. The third game of that series was postponed to September because of rain. So the Tigers only played 2 games in that series. And then they are currently in Houston, taking on the Astros. Game 1 of that series went to the Tigers, 9-3. Colt Keith with a 3-homer game. Absolutely legendary performance from Colt Keith as he hits 3 home runs and Tigers win. We'll keep up with the rest of that series as it goes on. Again, we always record these Tuesday night, so Game 2 of the series has not happened yet. We'll get to that later. So not been great for the Tigers. Well, it's been good outside of getting owned by Cleveland yet again, which has been the case for over a decade now, so really can't be too surprised about that, but such is life. Nothing else crazy to report on with the Tigers, so I will let Garry take it away with the Lugnuts.
My God, was the Lugnuts great? They come off after, of course, a series loss against the Great Lake Loons, who are really good at this point. I will talk about it later of where they're at right now. The Lugnuts won the last game of the series against the Loons, so they had a 1-game series. Oh yeah, I have to grab that. Just give me 1 second. I meant to grab that before, but I didn't see the picture. But anyways, so they go on home to face the Colonels. Now, Game 1 was a good game. It was back and forth the entire game. Shut up, Siri. But game went back and forth until something happened. That something happening in the 8th inning. 2-run score to win the game going into the 9th, as the Nuts will beat the Colonels 5-4 that day. Then on the 10th of June, it went into 11 innings. 11. Let me say, I was working that game. Hated it. But later on, you'll hate why I'm upset about other things. Because it gets worse by now. A 2-run walk-off home run to beat the Colonels 9-8. What in the actual crap is happening? So right now it's a 3-game win streak. So before we get on to game 3, I had to work this one too. I got some new pins. Pins, baby, pins.
Pins, yeah.
And I put them on my hat. So I'm going to take off my worker hat. Or my worker pin, sorry. By the way, just letting you know, you guys ever want to know what the worker pins look like? That also, that is not how I spell my name.
That's they're not called worker pins, Gary. They're called name
I call
tags.
them worker. I call them worker pins because I don't give a fuck.
Get named worker pins.
I call them that because they have a needle on them and they're pins.
Mine's magnetic.
Oh, they must have not have gotten new ones for you, sucker. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't have the 30th anniversary one because I'm not cool.
They got new pins, being the affiliates. I put them on my hat because why not? You have, of course, Stockton, which is all the way in California, may I just say. Then us, the Lugnuts. Then they have to go all the way to Texas in Midland. Then they go all the way to Nevada in Las Vegas. And they will still have to go to Las Vegas for the A's. But I just think that was cool. I got a discount on it, $24.
For the whole set, $24? That's not bad. Less than $5 a pin.
For the whole set, it's actually $30. But once you have the,
the
discount for workers.
Well, still $6 a pin's not bad.
Honestly, no, I liked it. I mean, I wanted to get all the affiliates for each, team, but the only best I could see was, the this one right here, which shows affiliate, and they had the same thing with the loons, but I didn't want to get that. I wanted to get the whole entire affiliate.
Yeah, see, like I would get that set, but I think I already have an A's pin. I do already have an A's pin, and I already have a Lugnuts pin, so I don't want duplicates. But the other 3 are. But it's cool that they offer that, though.
Right, so now I don't have to go actually all the way to California to get a Stockton pin, or all the way to Texas, or I mean, it's just better. But after that happened, it was a good game. It was a pretty good game. On 6/11, the Nuts will beat the Colonels again. So far, 4-game win streak right now, on a hot streak. We are so happy about this. And you know what? Cool. Fun. Grand. Then June 12th hits. And let me tell you, this game was insane. So, it is 90s night, Thirsty Thursday, and Central Michigan night. One of the 3 things I hate, aka Central Michigan. But I worked it because, I wanted to see if the thing's true where, who knows, maybe college nights could go undefeated this year. Eastern Michigan and Michigan college night won. Who knows? I mean, it could happen. Well, let me just say, going in to the bottom of the 8th, again, we are down 4-3. Okay. Or or no, yeah, we were down 4-3. The pitcher walked everybody for bases loaded, walked one person in to come in, so now it's 4-4. What happens next, you may ask? There is a guy who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is our catcher for the Lugnuts. And he hit a blast to left field to give the Lugnuts an 8-4 lead, getting ready to go into the top of the ninth. This is it. We are going to win the series. We win the series. Yes, we could probably sweep this team if we win tomorrow and the next day. Never give hope on your team that they're going to sweep. On June 13th, I had to work it again. And let me tell you something when I say this. The score was 23-3 going into the 6th inning. And I mean that. Let's go to MILB.com, actually, to show you. Let's see. Hold on, if I could find it. That's not what I wanted. What day was it? 6/12?
Yeah.
Okay, 6/12. All right. So we're going to high A. And I'm going by Bally Sports, actually, to be honest with you. Or did I get that wrong? No, 6/13. My bad. Or 6/13. My bad, everyone. So the final score, 23-15. Here is the set for each inning. So for Lansing, 0 runs for the first and second inning. Meanwhile, Cedar Rapids has 4 in the first, 3 in the second. So already that's bad. Then in the third inning, Lansing scores a run. Okay, we're alive. But Cedar Rapids scores 6. In the fourth inning, it looks like Lansing might try to make a comeback even though they're way down. They score 2 runs. Cedar Rapids scores 1. Okay, we won that inning. Then the fifth, Cedar Rapids just blew us out of the water there. 6 runs again versus Lansing's 1. And then in the 6th inning, Cedar Rapids scores 3. We score 1. In the 7th, 8th, and 9th, Cedar Rapids scores 0. Okay. In the 7th inning, Lansing scores 1. And the 8th inning, this one was the crucial one. Lansing scores 9 runs in the 8th inning.
That's
to
insane.
Almost make a comeback and beat Cedar Rapids, but they lose 23-15.
Giving up 23 runs in a baseball game is crazy, but only losing. But that's a freaking football score.
That is a football score. If you think about it, because they had 13, if you go for 2, that's 15 if you make it. So, like, I mean, I doubted the team when it was 23-3. Okay? I doubted the team.
As most people would.
I should have never doubted them. I need to stay hopeful with the Lugnuts. I don't want to doubt them anymore. So, the next day, the game gets canceled due to rain. But the good thing is, and I really liked how they did this, one of the guys, baseball players from the Lugnuts, comes up, because it is kids' night, or kids' day. They would have had to run the bases. But instead, he comes up to the concourse and signs autographs, takes pictures. and stuff like that. And that's really nice. We want our fans to be happy, even though, games canceled. So, and the kids really loved it. So, I mean,
Yeah, that was a nice thing that they did for them there.
and and even though you technically still get a card to go to the store across the street and see Big Lug, our mascot, and also get ice cream. So, I mean, it's a win-win if you think about it.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, it was good for the Lugnuts. It wasn't really bad other than that one score. But, now we're going up against West Michigan, who is last place in the conference. And we won against them in the series, so let's beat them at their own home. And also, future episode, we will make an episode on West Michigan. Future. It won't be this series, but it'll be the next time.
Yeah, it won't be this series, but soon.
But
Soon enough.
And then before we go to Kalamazoo, I will go do other Midwest League stuff because I do have some other stuff. First, we'll start with the first half standings. What it's looking like is South Bend has won their first half, so they automatically get a playoff spot. So congratulations to the South Bend Cubs. They don't have to worry about the second half. Shut up. I like the Cubs. Anyways,
Traitor.
I'm not a traitor. I still like the Tigers, and I still like the Lugnuts. I can like multiple teams. But right now it is a battle for first place as Lake County and Great Lakes will face each other this series. So we will know the other side for the Lugnut side. So I'm hoping Great Lakes because I don't like Lake County, but let's just hope. And then other than that, we have a review. I got a new hat. So I will take off this one. I will put you back on in a second. I got a new hat from the Loons. Now, I did open this on one of my live streams on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I do iRacing again. I've been doing a lot of iRacing streams. Follow me on that. Anyways, I'm not going to show you the front, but I'll show you this tape because I just realized this tape has the Loons logo on it.
That's kind of cool.
It's really cool. So I kept the box. I got this last week and I kept the box. Anyways, so they have a thing called the Michigan Dogmen. I think we talked about it on this podcast a long time ago.
Yeah, we did a while back.
And I said I wanted to get those hats because they look pretty cool. And well, I have it. There's a piece of paper in here that I thought they just wrote a note on it, but it wasn't. It was just saying, "Hey, this is your address. This is our address. This is where it's coming from." So I was just like, "Oh, frick it." So, anyways,
frick it.
Here's the back. You have the purple, and then there's the front.
It's kind of a nice logo, honestly.
It is. I like it. Of course, I can't wear it to work because it's not Lugnut space, of course. But I'll wear this whenever I'm up north and see my grandparents because they live in Midland, and I want to not have a Lugnuts hat and people be angry at me. Anyways, the other Loons hat I have is this one, but I got this one a while ago. It's the Dodger Blue. So it's pretty cool. But both of them are cool. I liked this one just because I liked the purple. I liked the background. And yeah, so it looks decent. And yeah, that's about it for Midwest League.
Oh, I did fuck. I got so much new
What?
shit and I forgot to bring it down. But I did get, saw it on Lugnut Lounge. I did get the Peanuts bobblehead that they did last week. It's a smaller bobblehead than some of the other ones, so it comes in a smaller box, which I find fun. But it's cool.
I need to get mine.
Yeah, I just went up to the desk in the front office, and they have a list of names. They check you off when
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah, but I have nobody to drop me off, so I have to figure out. I have to either call my friend or do something. But now we go on to the Kalamazoo Growlers. I hear Michael Jackson. My dad is having on his speaker Michael Jackson. I can hear it, and I hate it. Anyways, so it was basically Kalamazoo and Dock Spiders the entire week, almost. And let me tell you, it was back and forth all the way through. So, well, wait. Yes, it was. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. So it was Dock Spiders. Now this game was back and forth, so you're just gonna hear beat, lose, beat, lose. Anyways, the Growlers beat the Dock Spiders game 1, 5-4. Close game, back and forth all the way through. But then the next day it was the Dock Spiders beating them 7-2. And then on the 11th, because they had one day off, the Dock Spiders beat them, the Growlers beat the Dock Spiders 1-0 in Kalamazoo. And then on the 12th, the Growlers will lose to the Dock Spiders 13-4. So which means Growlers and Dock Spiders split their home and home series. And then comes the I-94 Rivalry Cup Series between Traverse City and Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo is down 4-1 in the series. So can we just give up the I-94 Rivalry Cup already?
True.
Because on the 13th and 14th, Traverse City beat the Growlers. On the 13th, it was 10-6, and on the 14th, it was 5-2. I don't think there's a comeback ever happening again, but you never know. If at least we could beat Battle Creek, I'll take it. But then yesterday, while we're recording this, Growlers beat Wisconsin 9-7. So that was a close game. And currently, right now, they are in a rain delay. And their system of having tarp on the field is multiple things, as you could tell. This team does not have good things.
That's something.
So, but you know what? It is 1-1 in the 8th inning, in the bottom of the 8th. So what you're telling me is it's been through 8 innings and it's still 1-1?
I feel like that's a pretty normal baseball experience.
It's boring.
It
and it looks like they're throwing the tarps off and they're getting ready to pull the tarp off, so we might have some baseball soon. They will possibly finish it. Hopefully. But other than that, Kalamazoo, if we look at the standings, I don't like it very much. Just because I will tell you the standings, and let's hope to God this doesn't turn out the way I want it. In the first half, right now, it is a tie for first place between the Kalamazoo Growlers and the Richmond Flying Mummies. Now, Richmond is a new team. This is their first inaugural season. So, being tied with a two-time champion Kalamazoo Growlers must be something. And then the Kenosha Kingfish are a game back, as well as Royal Oak and Traverse City.
Royal Oak.
There's a three-way tie for second, a tie for first, and then you have Battle Creek 3 games back and Rockford 4 games back. So it's actually really close in the Great Lakes East. In the Great Lakes West, the Woodchucks, Wausau, I think that's what the name is. They are 13-5, and they are 1.5 games above the defending champion Green Bay Rockers. And then they are also 1.5 games ahead of the Madison Mallards. The Lakeshore Chinooks, I think that's what it's called, are 4.5 games back. The Rapids Raptors, Wisconsin, is 7 games back, so they're kind of messing up. Fond du Lac Dock Spiders are 8 games back from first.
Crazy name.
Fond du Lac, yeah.
Jeez.
And then comes the Great Plains East. This is where it gets interesting. So, listen to this, and this is weird because there is a team that hasn't played the same amount of games as everyone else. Let me tell you what that is.
What?
Great Plains East, you have Lacrosse Loggers, who are first place, half games ahead of the Rochester Honkers. Then the Eclair Express, 1.5 games ahead. I'm ignoring what you're saying because you're laughing at something that really shouldn't be laughing. The Waterloo Bucks are 2.5 games ahead. Then the Thunder Bay Border Cats are 3 games back. Duluth Huskies are 4 games back. And the Minnesota Mud Puppies are 2.5 games back. But here's the thing.
Honkers.
Here's the thing. The Minnesota Mud Puppies, do you want to know what their win and loss record is?
Honkers.
Shut up, Tyler. Their record is 2-3. The Mud Puppies' record are 2-3. And they're 2.5 games back. Now, let's look and see their schedule. Because they've had an interesting schedule here. If I can ever find the right thing. Let's see. Great Lakes. No, wait. Great Plains. I think it's Great Plains.
That was funny. Honkers. We gotta go see the Honkers, man. Come on now. Oh, that'd be funny as fuck.
Why the Okay, maybe I'm wrong because I don't see them here. I don't know why the Mud Puppies aren't on here. All right. Okay. Sorry. Why my phone's messed up. There we go. So
Can you hear me?
yes. At least he wasn't in his underwear. Alright, edit it out.
You're not gonna edit anything.
If I can find it.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. Woo!
Hey, at least he wasn't in his underwear. We can appreciate that.
If he wasn't in his underwear, I would have to edit it out. Would have that.
So it shows that they've only played 5 games. Now, I don't know what's going on.
5 games? Did they fold partway through the season?
I don't know. It shows on here that they play. I mean, 2 days ago they have their thing up, so I mean, I don't know. So I might have to look more into it. But
Cool.
I don't know why they're 2-5. I'm gonna have to look at more schedule stuff going on. So let's see, are they playing any? I guess not. So I'm not gonna take as much time as we need because we're 41 minutes into this. But other than that, we just Kalamazoo's done okay. Lugnuts have done okay. Let's just keep it the way it is.
True. The only other thing to talk about baseball-wise was the first part of this Pocono trip that we will get to the beef of later. But we made a couple of stops and saw a couple of minor league baseball stadiums. Now, each of these stadiums will get their own reviews on the channel, on the main channel, later than the next week or so. So you can go check those out. But you can get a brief synopsis here. The first one we went and visited was the Altoona Curve in readily named Altoona, Pennsylvania. They're a AA team of the Pirates. They were playing the AA affiliate of the Orioles when we were there, Chesapeake Bay. And it was a pretty nice stadium. Really nice stadium, actually, for a minor league ballpark. The concourses were all covered up by windows, so rain couldn't get in, and it'd be a little bit more temperature controlled. You could open the windows, though, too, if you wanted, which was nice. So really nice exterior. Very good shop selection. I got a pin there. They were doing a beach towel giveaway, which, again, stored somewhere in my room. I meant to grab it. But we just had a fucking beach towel, which was perfect because the game got rain delayed. So we could use the beach towel to wipe off our seats. But also really nice ushers. Really wide open concourses to walk around in. Just a lot of cool things. Really, really good amenities. Really good view, too. I mean, they have the roller coaster out in right field from the now defunct Lakemont Park. And they even still run the lights on the roller coaster when it becomes nighttime, which is really, really cool. And they have some other cool stuff to look, signs and everything like that to help light up the stadium at night. But also really nice backdrop just with the mountains and everything like that. I really enjoyed Altoona Stadium. We meant to stay the whole game, but we couldn't because it got rain delayed for a little over an hour. So we did have to leave. We stayed a little bit longer than we wanted to because Chesapeake Bay had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning of the game. And Altoona finally got a couple of hits and then stranded the bases loaded. And we were out of there. So that was pretty cool. But really nice stadium. It was my first ever AA stadium. The only other AA stadium I really want to see is Erie because it's the Tigers affiliate. We'll get there eventually. In fact, we're trying probably maybe 2027 do a little bit of a trip up to Erie. We'll stop and see the Lake County Stadium, Lake County Captains, and then see Erie. Maybe even see a Guardians game on the way back. Or if we go early enough in the season, we can see a Cavs game instead, which would be pretty cool. But gotta say, it was a pretty cool experience. Not going to lie. Also, they have a really cool thing where you can buy a $10 souvenir cup and you get free refills during the game. And a normal 32-ounce cup, regular price, $6. So you fill it up twice, you get more than your money's worth. Pretty good deal. So I really enjoyed Altoona. We also made the last minute decision to go the next night to see Scranton. The Scranton Stadium, they're a AAA affiliate of the Yankees. And they were playing the AAA affiliate of the Phillies when we were there. Scranton Stadium, in my opinion, is also really beautiful. Very, very modern looking. Some really nice structural design. The scoreboard's even angled a little bit towards the fans, which makes it easier to see, which I think is really, really cool. But also just an absolute gorgeous mountain backdrop. The stadium's kind of worked into the field and everything like that. Very wide open areas to walk around. They had some homages to The Office because The Office was set in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where we were. So that was pretty cool. And we got to see a benches clearing brawl in the 5th inning, which was awesome. So I love that. But overall, just a really fun experience. It wasn't too busy, so we could move around as we wanted. We didn't stay past the 5th inning because, again, we were tired and we didn't intend on staying the full game. And tickets were relatively cheap, so it didn't really matter. But both Altoona and Scranton, very beautiful minor league ballparks. If you are ever in the area and are a baseball fan, 100% recommend visiting both of those stadiums. They are a treat. So I will say, too, Scranton Stadium, my second AAA stadium, I think it's better than Toledo. Sorry, I think it is. Just my opinion, but I think it is. So, all right, that's all. Actually, one more baseball thing.
Update on the Mud Puppies. They are a official road-only team.
That's crazy.
So they only play road games, and that's why they're 2-3.
Why are they road only? They don't have home stadium?
No, not yet.
That's wild. All right, one more thing for baseball. Update the College World Series that is still going on. Give an update on where that is. So here we go. Oh, no, I don't want to sign up for the newsletter. It looks like West Virginia. Oh no, we already did this. Well, we already did this. Anyway. So there are 5 teams remaining in the championship. Since our last update last week, 3 more teams have been eliminated. Those teams were Alabama, Ole Miss, and the Cinderella story of the tournament, Troy. We're all eliminated. That leaves North Carolina, West Virginia, Georgia, Texas, and Oklahoma left in the tournament. With West Virginia, Georgia, and Texas already having 1 loss. So it is setting up to be an OU versus UNC championship. But still some decisions and some games to be played before that happens. So we'll update that again in our next episode. All right, that is it for baseball. It was a little bit longer than I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. Because we got a lot of meat and potatoes to get into. Anyway, here we go. Quickly, there's nothing for football, so we'll skip football. Basketball. The only things we really have for basketball, the NBA playoffs have ended. A champion has been crowned. The Knicks, for the first time in 53 years, are NBA champions. They beat the Spurs 4-1. This is a generational choke by the Spurs. They had a double-digit lead in each of the 5 games in the NBA Finals and choked away 4 of them, including a terrible, terrible closeout in Game 4, which they lost on a buzzer beater. They also blew a tight game at home in Game 2. They blew Game 1 at home, and they blew Game 5 at home, going 0-3 at home in the finals. And really, that's just, I didn't watch as much as the NBA Finals as I was hoping to. But from what I did watch, it was just a 3-point chucking contest between both teams. And honestly, the Knicks are the better 3-point shooting team out of the two. So, of course, they're going to win that battle. The Spurs just did not utilize their big size paint guy, Wemby, at all. The coach needs to be fired for that. That was an absolute embarrassment to just give in to the NBA wanting it to be just a 3-point shooting contest. What a great game. What a great series. But that's it. The NBA playoffs are over. No more NBA coverage for the season. So, not a big Knicks fan, and I also am not really happy about them winning the championship. Not because they burnt down the city, basically. I think that was pretty funny. But because the Knicks really didn't make any adjustments at all to their team from last season to this season. They pretty much ran it back with the same core, and they won, which is going to inspire and make a lot of owners be vindicated when they don't make any big trades or big free agent acquisitions or anything like that, because they can see, oh, just look at what the Knicks did. And it's just going to promote more mediocrity and executive ownership profiting. So there's that. The Stanley Cup Finals also ended, as our only thing to cover for hockey. The Hurricanes win their second Stanley Cup in 6 games over the Golden Knights, winning 4-2. Really good series all throughout. All the games were really, really close for the most part. Some really intense back and forth action. The Hurricanes rally from being down 2-1 in the series to win the final 3 games in a row. And it was pretty insane, gotta say. So congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm not a huge Hurricanes fan, never will be. But it's better than Vegas wasting more water. So there's that.
So there is one more hockey I meant to put on there, and it's for ECHL purposes, because the Kelly Cup champion has been announced, and that was the Florida Everblades. So Florida Everblades get the Kelly Cup championship from the KC Mavericks. Yes, I thought it was Fort Wayne, but I misspoke. So it was actually Kansas City.
Congratulations. I guess. So. Florida's bad, so there we go. Florida's bad. So bad. So there's that. Which means we're probably not going to be talking about a whole lot of basketball or hockey stuff for the remainder of the summer. So we can pretty much now just dive into baseball, which we already covered, and NASCAR. But before we got NASCAR, which is the biggest part of this episode, there's one more piece of news that happened that we need to talk about. Because MSU can never be left out of the batch, apparently. Jay Batt, the athletic director, is gone. He is going to Kentucky to be their new AD, as they transition into their own private equity company formation to better increase revenue, as all universities are doing now. Yeah, this is not good. We lost our president, and now we lost our athletic director. And there's only one group of people to blame. That's the board of trustees. Board of Trustees needs to fuck off. They are leeches. They are power hungry. They have giant egos. They're very selfish. They're killing the university, and they don't care. And J-Bat was whatever. You know, I think he was doing a pretty good job doing what he needed to do. Is it what the fans want? No. But universities need to make more money in this NIL world. That's what he was doing. So I got to commend him for that. He took action. And he dipped. Just like Guskowitz, he took a pay cut to do so. Because the Board of Trustees sucks that bad. And also, Kentucky is just objectively a worse job. So there's that too.
Other than it's an SEC school.
Yeah, but their athletic program is not in as overall is not in as healthy of a position. Whatever, I guess. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, there's no sense of leadership. There's no sense of organization. Because the Board of Trustees just shoots down every new idea that comes through the table because they can't stand things not going their way because they are just hungry assholes. And until the Board of Trustees is gone forever, that won't change. But they're elected positions, and people are stupid and don't vote correctly. So, I guess we're just stuck with it forever. So that's that. MSU athletics as a whole is not looking too hot. But we roll on. Fuck. That was pisses me off. Fuck you, Board of Trustees. Alright, anyway, oh, another thing I forgot about, the World Cup's going on. That started. And so, I'm not really sure how this is working. But the World Cup started, what the fuck, so there's like multiple groups of teams, so currently they're in like the group stage.
Yes.
So I guess we'll just run through the groups because we're not into the official bracket yet.
If you want, we can do. You could do A, I'll do B, and then we could just keep it.
I've got it pulled up. I can just run through all of them. In Group A, Mexico and Korea won their first game, while Czechia and South Africa lost. So it goes Mexico, Korea, Czechia, and South Africa. That's the Group A standings currently. The Group B standings currently stands as Switzerland, Canada, Qatar, and Bosnia, and Herzegovina. I butchered that one, but they all drawed. Group C standings stands as Scotland, Morocco, Brazil, and then Haiti.
Scotland forever!
The Group D standings, the U.S. is number 1, followed by Australia, Turkey, and Paraguay. Group E is Germany. Don't even want to know how that's pronounced. What is that?
Ivory Coast.
Côte d'Ivoire. Butchered that like crazy. Where was I? Oh, and then Ecuador and Caraco. Also butchered that one. Sorry, guys. I am not good with a lot of these names. Group F standings: Sweden, number 1, followed by Japan, the Netherlands, and Tunisia. Tunisia. Group G is New Zealand, Iran, Belgium, and Egypt. Group H is Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, Spain, and Cabo Verde. Group I is France, Norway, Iraq, and Senegal. Group J, Argentina, Algeria. Oh no, these ones haven't started yet. There's 3 that haven't started yet, and this is Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Group K: Portugal, Dominican Republic of the Congo, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. And then Group L, which has England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. They have not yet started, and so they all play in these groups 5 games, and then I don't know how it works after that, but I think they take the winners based on like the standings in the groups, and then they seed it based on that.
Top 2 teams of each group.
So the World Cup is going to go on for about a month, a little over a month. The final is scheduled for July 15th, so we will keep updating that as we go. As another thing to keep track of. Again, normally we don't cover soccer, but this is the fucking World Cup we're talking about, so I think it's reasonable to want to do that. But that's how it currently is standing. So there's that. And then, Gary, is there anything else you want to go over before we hit up NASCAR?
Other than the tarps off about in Kalamazoo versus Wisconsin, they're just getting everything back to sort it out, and then there'll be game time for Wisconsin and Kalamazoo.
Nice. So the big thing, the base thing before J-Bat fucked off to Kentucky, was that I went to Pocono this weekend. That's why we didn't go to MIS.
Fuck Pocono.
Anne went with me. We went out for the weekend. That was for a work experience out there. Now, I will not talk about said work experience here. That'll be reserved for a different podcast at a different time. So, be ready for that. What I can say is I did and got a lot of the fan experience stuff, but I got pretty much the same stuff, just as a smaller scale. We were out there for the whole weekend, saw the ARCA race, saw Cup practice and qualifying, saw Xfinity practice and qualifying, plus the Xfinity race, and then the Cup race. Whole shebang. And, going in, we knew that Pocono was a pretty rural track, and it is pretty rural. I'd say it's pretty akin to Bristol. You go through a lot of mountains and hills, and you go through some neighborhoods, though. It's a little bit more civilized. But you really get a lot of beautiful, beautiful mountain views and everything like that driving through that part of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a pretty mountainous state. You guys have never been there. And it's quite nice. It is quite nice to be there and everything like that. But then, we have Pocono there, and Pocono is huge. Pretty big, to say the least. But really not as big as I thought it was going to be. Like, really, I was getting multiple different viewing angles, during the weekend, like the races, but also, like, practice and qualifying. And even, like, standing on, like, the entrance to go up to the grandstands, like, down near the walkway, you could still see pretty much the whole track outside of the area where the scoreboard was blocking, which at Michigan, you can't do that. Which was surprising. It was very surprising to me that it was like that. thought I wouldn't really be able to see much of the backstretch area or the short chute area, but you can see it pretty clearly, which was quite surprising, but cool. But cool thing to see for sure. Also, that front stretch, man, that front stretch is huge, absolutely huge. Like, unless you like stand up to get a clear view, you really like if you stand going into turn one or you stand entering the front stretch and look down at the other side of the front stretch, unless you like stand up, you really can't see it, and that's crazy to me. How like long the front stretch is, like you, especially like at the start or restart of a race, you'll see the cars go down, and you're like, they cross the start finish line. You're like, okay, they're almost turn one, and they just keep going and going and going and going and going, and then you finally see them poke off into turn one. It's like, wow, that was a long turn. It's honestly quite impressive, I gotta say. The track also has a very beautiful rural backdrop with the forests and the trees and everything like that, which is nice. But as far as like the fan festivity stuff, it's not really that great. You know, I've been to Indy. Indy was cool because they put it all in the infield.
I've always wanted to go to the Indy 500 or the Indy or the Brickyard, one of those two.
Been to Bristol, and Bristol wasn't great. Like, it wasn't the greatest, but it had a good amount of stuff. A very cool tent scene, but some other fan stuff to do. In Michigan, Michigan takes advantage of its long front stretch and puts stuff all down the front stretch for fans to walk around and experience and stuff like that. And, you know, Pocono, you would think, would take advantage of their very long front stretch and
three corners
and have stuff to do. Not really, though. They are only using a small section of the front stretch. And what was also interesting was that in order to enter the fan area, you had to have a ticket. Whereas, I guess Indy, yes, you had to have a ticket because it's in the infield. But like Bristol and Michigan, you don't need to have a ticket to enter the fan area. Pocono, you do, which is weird. I don't understand really why they do that.
They used to do that in Michigan.
Yeah, they haven't in a while. In a long while. I don't know, it's really like it was a baffling choice. Only because nobody was really checking tickets at all. Like, obviously, like, and it's because I was there to work, I had to get there earlier than the fans could go into the track, right? And we'd like walk into the track, nobody's there to check our credentials, nobody's there to scan tickets. Like, Ann didn't even scan her ticket Friday at all. She just walked right in. Like, and I saw the scanners, like they had scanners set up. But
so what you're saying is I could have went too.
You could have went for free outside of helping pay for the hotel and stuff like that. But you could have gone to the races for free. And just, I don't know.
No wonder it was packed.
It was pretty crowded. There was a good amount of attendance, even for, like, the ARCA race was whatever. I didn't really get to see much of the ARCA race. And the reason why is something that I'll say for the Work Stories podcast. But even the Xfinity race, it was packed. It was a pretty packed Xfinity race. Really good environment. The Cup race was obviously even more packed, but it was, yeah, it was something. But what I found out is that, and this is not really the case in Michigan, I don't know how it is at the other tracks, but I couldn't really tell at some of the other tracks. But Pocono, it's pretty clear that Pocono is a track that outsources a lot of their necessary stadium operations to external companies that then come in and work for the weekend. And that's not a decision that I think is smart from a quality and experience standpoint. Again, I was not working for the track directly. I was working for an external company that is brought in to work the race weekend. Won't go too much more into that here. Again, there will be a work stories episode talking about all that later on. But we weren't the only department that was brought in. There was a lot of outside food vendors. There was these ticket scanning people were definitely brought in from outside sources. A lot of the operations as far as like fan experience, cleaning, all that sort of stuff, all brought in, and it's the decision that Pocono makes. I get it. The only thing they really do is the one NASCAR weekend. I get it, right? But it just, Pocono itself, when you pull up, it looks fine. But the shadiness of the track doesn't really stop at all of the hard crashes and all the mysterious things that have happened on the track. Definitely some off-track stuff that happens too. I mean, I heard multiple, and I mean multiple, reports of people people walking around with like a card scanner on their phone and stealing people's credit card information. I heard multiple reports of credit cards being frauded because people used them at a food stand and they were scanned by a credit card stealing machine. I heard multiple reports of people pulling up to the campsites or pulling up to the track to go in, and they were being asked to pay $135+ to get in despite already having a ticket. Now, these are all reports at the end of the day. But I've been to Michigan multiple times. Never had a problem with that. Ever. Been to Bristol. Never a problem. Indy. Okay, I was 10. I don't really know if that was a big issue. But I doubt it because it's Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So it just goes to show that Pocono does cut some corners. And it shows. It does. You can tell once you look a little bit past the surface, some of the stuff. Some other things that I will say about the track. They have the best hot dogs I've ever had in my life. I don't know what the fuck business they're standing on making those hot dogs, but my God, was that a heavenly hot dog. And Ann can attest to that. It was something. It was something. Really good hot dog. Now let me, and again, go back to the Fan Fest stuff, by the way. It was alright. Like, they had the haulers. They had a couple cars. I saw Ross Chastain's car. Ann saw a Kyle Larson car. I didn't see it. It must have only came up for Sunday. But, like, the Chevy booth didn't really have anything. There was no Ford booth. No Toyota. There's a lot of military stuff. Too much military stuff. But there wasn't really a whole lot else to look around at. The cool thing was there was a memorial set up for Kyle Busch, which I thought was really, really nice. They had his number out, stacked some tires, some cool pictures. That they had a lot of pictures put around the track of him winning various races at Pocono, which I thought was really, really nice. And they had a thing where you could write a note, like a note for Samantha and Kyle Busch's kids, and leave it to them, and you could get a Kyle Busch number 8 sticker for doing that. So Ann left the note and gave me the sticker, which I don't have, but that was really nice. They had a lot of stuff up in the garage area for Kyle as well. So I thought that was really nice. Really appreciated
I,
that for him.
I heard at the start finish line, instead of it saying Pocono, it said Rowdy. From what I heard
Um,
at the start finish line. Here, I'll find it.
I don't remember seeing that, but it's possible.
I'll look it up. See if I actually did it.
Oh, they did on one side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I really didn't notice that until now.
Plus, they had a rock that had the 18 on it.
I didn't notice that either, but I believe that was true. But yeah, that was cool. What else do I have to say about Pocono? I guess I'll brief my notes. Again, there is going to be a full Pocono track review coming out. Oh yeah, a couple other things. One, the parking situation. Pocono is very much said to be one of the worst tracks when it comes to parking because there's really only one way in and one way out of the track. I didn't think that was true. There were multiple gates that we could enter to park. And honestly, between the checkered flag dropping on the cup race and us getting on the road was about 15 minutes. That's pretty damn good, I'd say. I would say that's even better than Michigan. I'd say that was better than Indy, if I remember correctly. Bristol was something else, but that's, a completely different standard. But anyway.
So, I found. Hold on. Here's some of the stuff. I can get to it. There's that.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, there was that too. I didn't even notice that till now.
That.
Yep, I saw that part as well.
And then I don't know who that is.
Drew?
But
so the parking situation was a pleasant surprise. Now, the only other thing I really want to comment on with Pocono, and this is one of the wildest things I've ever experienced, their bathroom situation. They have actual bathrooms. But inside the bathroom, they staff a bathroom like butler. You ever seen like a fancy like you ever seen like a TV show or like a movie, one of the older ones where they walk into a guy walks into the bathroom and there's like a worker in there sitting there and he like cleans the bathroom and stuff. Have you know what I'm talking about or no?
I do know what you're talking about, but my question is, why would they put that there?
Kill the bug. Yes, got the bug. Yeah, they have the same thing in Pocono, which is bizarre. Because you like walk into the bathroom and it's not really that wide of a bathroom entrance. You walk in, you go to the left, and then you immediately have to turn to the right to go to the urinals. By the way, the urinals here are the similar urinal style to what you see in a porta potty, like the little section off to the left where you take a piss. That's what you have in the bathrooms at Pocono. They are small, so you have to do you're pretty much forced to do the male Sigma way of one urinal filled, one empty, one filled, one empty, one filled. Because if you stand like next to somebody, you're pretty much touching shoulders and almost touching dick, and that's not what we need at a NASCAR race. So
I love how you did say touching wieners. You just immediately said touching dick.
but also like you walk in, you turn to the left, and blocking half of your already very small walkway is this guy sitting in a chair, and he has a tip jar in front of him, and then you see like a bag of peanut M&Ms, and you're thinking, is this guy washing his hands before he eats the peanut M&Ms in the bathroom? Yeah, he's like, hey, how you, and every time I walk to the bathroom, hey, how you doing? Good, I'm trying to take a piss. And then the one bathroom near where I was working had like a table of like different colognes. What?
Should have grabbed one.
Dude, I should have tried. Well, it was they were there so you could like try them on. Who the fuck's putting on cologne in a NASCAR race? What?
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
I'm like, what the hell? I mean, the bathrooms was one of the most bizarre experiences I have ever seen in my life. If only the work experience. Well, the work experience pretty much topped that, but that's again something for a different time. But that's really the main things I have to say about Pocono. Is it better than Michigan? No. I think Michigan's a better track. Pocono's not great. It's a track that, if you're big into camping, this is a track to camp at for sure. Pocono has a very good camping scene, which most NASCAR tracks do, but Pocono is definitely up there. And if you're like in the Northeast area, I think it's worth going to. If you're trying to see all the NASCAR tracks, I think it's worth going to. But honestly, am I looking to go back to Pocono? No. I saw it. I experienced it. I did everything you pretty much do at a NASCAR race, except camp, which I don't really do anyways. The only thing I forgot to do, well, there was two things I forgot to do, and that's because I was working. I forgot to check for more poker chips, and I meant to go by the Kyle Busch merch hauler, and see if there were any Kyle Busch pins. I didn't. That's okay.
It'd probably be sold out already.
There were some stuff of his left. Not a lot, but some of his stuff left. As far as merchandise goes, I got a race pin and a track pin, thanks to Ann. And Ann did all the tents shopping, because I didn't get a chance to go to the tents. Because the tents are not like right around the speedway. They're like out closer to the parking lot area, which is a bit of a hike for sure. And while Ann was going through the tent, she didn't find a whole lot. They weren't that great. But she did find a Robbie Gordon pin for $2. Now, this is Robbie Gordon when he was owning his own team. This was like 2005 Robbie Gordon.
So the number 7 car.
The 7 car. It says Jim Beam Racing on it. And I got one of those pins, bitches. There was nothing else interesting. No die-casts. I didn't get any die-casts. Ann got die-cast. But I didn't get any die-casts.
Die-cast.
So I got basically just the pins and the Kyle Busch sticker. That was it. So, you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Again, yeah, I mean, if you I think Pocono is a track worth visiting once if you're a NASCAR fan and you're semi close to it. But honestly, go to Watkins Glen, go to New Hampshire, go to Dover even. Well, maybe not right now, but if it ever gets a point state back, then go back to it. Because I honestly think those tracks are better experiences. Maybe not, but maybe they will be. Who knows? So that was my experience at Pocono. Pretty cool stuff. Now, how'd the races go? Xfinity race was good. It was a good Xfinity race. There was a lot of there was 10 cautions total, which is a lot for a 100 lap race. A lot of guys crashed. There was a lot of good cars wrecked out early in the race, but saw some really good action back and forth. between I think it was Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier. They had the two fastest cars in the day. And it would be with a 2-lap shootout that was not overtime, but a 2-lap shootout. Justin Allgaier would prevail and take the win, his first ever win at Pocono, surprisingly enough. He would get the win in the 7 car, so that was cool to see. And then a lot of good crashes, really good racing all throughout. The Cup race was a bit of a snooze fest, just a bit. The biggest crash of the day came when Big One took out Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and a few other guys. Other than that, not a whole lot of back and forth action. Denny Hamlin absolutely putting on another dominant clinic all day long. Now, there was some fuel strategy thrown at the end, and Christopher Bell tried to take a fuel gamble, but he ended up running out of gas with a couple of laps to go, allowing Hamlin to prevail, scoring his record 7th win at Pocono. Eighth win at Pocono, my bad. And
actually, wait, 9. He got disqualified for one of them.
So technically his 9th win at Pocono, which is a track record. Nobody's won more there than he has. And it's his 3rd win in a row. Went back, won 3 in a row this season. So he has pulled to about 52 points behind Tyler Reddick for the championship lead with this strong stretch. He's looked damn good while doing it, which has been cool. So it was cool to see Denny Hamlin win. It's back-to-back times I've seen him win, and the 4th time that I've seen him win overall in my life, which was pretty cool. The car looked ugly. I don't care what anybody says. His car looked ugly.
It was Minions.
It was King's Hawaiian and Minions, which made no
sense at all. You don't like Minions?
It did not work with the King's Hawaiian car. Now, 2 paint schemes that did look good. Ryan Blaney's throwback scheme to Ryan Newman, banger.
Ryan over Ryan.
And Ross Chastain's green and white Busch car looked sick. Other than that, could have done away with the rest of the paint scheme. I think that's everything that I have to say regarding Pocono. It was fun. I think it was worthwhile for me to do it. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Anything else worthwhile that you saw from the weekend that you'd like to comment on, Gary?
No, not really. I'm all good. Shut up, Danica.
True.
Literally, Danica's on the TV.
Did you update?
Yes, I did.
Oh, Garry won last week. Congratulations.
Because, I guess you had Brad Keselowski, and Brad Keselowski wrecked.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
So, let me get my poker chips.
Oh, yeah, true. We'll do that in a minute. A couple of NASCAR news things to go over real quick before we do that to end off the episode. A couple silly season things were announced. One, Josh Berry announced that he is not returning to the 21 car in 2027. Can't say I'm surprised, considering how his tenure there has gone, besides one win in Las Vegas. It is not confirmed if he'll have a cup ride next year. I have to think somebody will take a chance on him, but who knows? And then on the good news, on the other side of things, Chris Buescher signed a multi-year contract extension with RFK. So Chris Buescher is there to stay. So good for him. All right. Anyway, think that is it. So let's get to picking. We are on to the inaugural race in San Diego at the Camaraderie Naval Base. Yeah.
Let me just say, I race this on iRacing. It is so goddamn hard to race at. That, and I was watching a little bit of Carson Hocevar's live stream the other day. He was racing on the San Diego street course. It looks difficult. But we already know who's going to win that race.
Yeah, we know who's going to win that race. He drives a 97 car. So.
And he's only good for, road courses.
True. Well, he was doing pretty good on the ovals, but then this week he sucked.
So. No. I don't count Pocono as an oval. I count it as a triangle.
It's a triangle. That's right.
Then also, he's not good at ovals. I don't care how many people say he is. He ain't good.
True.
All right,
here we go.
For Tyler.
Naval base time.
You will get Josh Berry.
Oh, boy.
Or whoever drives the 4. Noah Gregson.
Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, that's even worse. Noah Gregson. Oh, boy.
Let's just hope he doesn't wreck the first lap. Anyways. Now I get to have to take out 2. So that means I got to find the 2. That's 12. Hold on a second. All right. 2's out. 6 back in. Here we go. Gotta shake her up. Joey Logano.
Well, hey, that means you probably are going to win. So there's that.
But I don't want Joey Logano. I want Chase Elliott.
Too bad. Too bad. You know what I'm going to do right now, actually? Because I don't want to keep forgetting this. I'm going to set a reminder on my phone. When I go to Talladega, I will look for more poker chips.
I will send you stuff. I will send you the ones I have.
I am setting a reminder in my phone right now for October 25th. That's the day of the Cup race. There will be an alert coming 1 day before and 1 hour before. We will have more poker chips next season. Not this season, because we're not going to another race. Well, Ann might be going to Chicago, but not confirmed. But otherwise, that's going to do it for... That's going to do it for this episode of Live, Laugh, Left. Make an announcement. There will be no episode next week. I am going to Nashville next week for a family vacation. And thus will be gone and not able to do an episode. So
you should try seeing what Nashville looks like outside of the track.
We do plan on seeing the Speedway. We do plan on seeing the Speedway. I will see the Predator Stadium and the Titan Stadium from the outside. We'll see Vanderbilt and all of those stadiums as well, hopefully. The other thing is there is a growing possibility that I might see the Nashville Sounds, AAA minor league baseball team. They are in town next week. The only days that I would be able to see them are Tuesday and Wednesday, because that's the only days that they're home and will be in town. So possibly I'm going to be seeing a Nashville Sounds game. So that would be pretty fun. And if I do, there won't be a formal vlog because I'll be on a family vacation, so I won't vlog, but I'll probably film a short and then I'll do a review that we'll talk about here. But I just want to bring that up because there will be no episode next week, which means next episode, which is going to be 2 weeks from now, will be a little bit longer because we'll have more stuff to go over with the Tigers, the World Cup, all the other baseball stuff, NASCAR, and all that sort of jazz. So it should be a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned for much more amazing content from both me and Hitmaster. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.